South Africa has launched a bold new chapter in its fight against internal corruption with the formation of the Madlanga Commission, a powerful inquiry tasked with exposing alleged criminal syndicates operating within law enforcement. Chaired by respected former Justice Madlanga, the commission has been granted sweeping powers to uncover the truth behind years of alleged collusion, abuse, and criminal infiltration of police and intelligence structures. In a groundbreaking move that could reshape South Africa's criminal justice landscape, the newly established Madlanga Commission has been granted sweeping powers to investigate what is being described as deeply embedded criminal syndicates within law enforcement agencies. The announcement has sent shockwaves through the corridors of power, ignited fierce public debate, and raised hopes for a long-awaited reckoning with corruption and abuse of authority in the very institutions tasked with upholding the law. The Commission, chaired by former Constitutional Court Justice Madlanga, has been empowered to summon, subpoena, seize records, and compel testimony from current and former officials across the South African Police Service, SAPS, the Hawks, the State Security Agency, and even select units within the National Prosecuting Authority. The breadth and scope of its mandate are unprecedented, and for many South Africans who have long suspected collusion between criminal elements and rogue law enforcement officials, this commission signals a long overdue push for justice. The official establishment of the commission comes amid growing public frustration with crime levels, the breakdown of trust in law enforcement, and lingering concerns about political interference in policing structures. With South Africa still recovering from the devastating July 2021 unrest and multiple high-profile cases of criminal sabotage and political violence, the timing of this inquiry could not be more critical. It has been framed not just as an investigation into wrongdoing, but as a national project aimed at restoring credibility, rebuilding institutions, and safeguarding democracy. Justice Madlanga, known for his integrity, sharp legal mind, and independence on the bench, has wasted no time signaling that his inquiry will be neither superficial nor toothless. In his inaugural statement, he acknowledged the magnitude of the task ahead, warning that rooting out criminal syndicates within law enforcement would be a painful but necessary process. "This is not a witch hunt," Madlanga said, "but if people have abused their power, collaborated with criminals, or turned state resources into tools of private gain, they will be held accountable." Already, early leaks suggest the Commission is preparing to probe allegations of coordinated hit squads operating under the guise of legitimate units, protection rackets managed by certain officers, and politically motivated intelligence abuses stretching back over a decade. Insiders say a list of interest has already been compiled, featuring over 80 names, including high-ranking police generals, former intelligence officials, and operatives previously linked to state capture. The scale of this investigation may rival that of the Zondo Commission, but with potentially more immediate consequences for law and order. The presidency, in a carefully worded statement, backed the commission fully, noting that the fight against crime cannot succeed while corruption festers inside law enforcement itself. President Cyril Ramaphosa has staked much of his political capital on promises of reform and accountability, and the Madlanga Commission may become a defining chapter in his presidency. If it succeeds, it could begin to reverse years of institutional decay. If it fails or is obstructed, it would further erode public faith in the rule of law and his leadership. Supporters of the commission include civil society groups, anti-corruption NGOs, and whistleblowers who have long risked their safety to expose criminal activity from within the system. Many of them see the commission not only as a moment of truth, but as a potential avenue for protection and vindication. "We've waited years for this," said a whistleblower who once worked in the SAPS crime intelligence unit. "Some of us were isolated, threatened, or forced into exile. Now there's a chance we'll be heard." However, not everyone is welcoming the commission with open arms. Critics, particularly some within the opposition and factions of the ANC, have questioned its scope, its funding, and whether it could be misused to settle political scores. Some also warn that unless prosecutions follow swiftly after the Commission's findings, public disappointment could harden into cynicism. The state capture inquiry made voluminous recommendations, but many of the key figures implicated still walk free, a reality that has bred frustration and disillusionment among ordinary South Africans. There are also logistical challenges. The Commission will need to balance transparency with security, especially when dealing with sensitive documents and protected witnesses. Its credibility will rest heavily on the public's perception of its independence and the ability of Justice Madlanga to shield it from political interference. Already, the Commission's offices are under heavy security and staff have been vetted through stringent integrity checks. While many South Africans are cautiously hopeful, they remain painfully aware of the obstacles ahead. The criminal syndicates allegedly under investigation are not amateurs. These are networks said to involve sophisticated money laundering operations, intelligence manipulation, and, in some cases, links to organized crime across borders. Dismantling such structures will require not only evidence, but also political will, institutional coordination, and courage. Meanwhile, analysts are keeping a close eye on the political fallout. The investigation could expose deep fractures within government and policing structures, with powerful figures at risk of exposure. The ripple effects may influence upcoming political alliances, party stability, and the already volatile security climate in certain provinces. Provinces like KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, long viewed as hotbeds of both political violence and police corruption, are expected to feature prominently in the Commission's investigations. What is also notable is the Commission's plan to involve the public. Justice Madlanga has committed to holding portions of the hearings in public view and inviting submissions from citizens and whistleblowers, creating a rare moment of participatory accountability. For a country that has grown weary of behind closed doors decisions, this commitment to openness could be a game changer. In the coming months, all eyes will be on the Madlanga Commission, not just to see who will be named and shamed, but to gauge whether South Africa can truly break from its past. Can the rot in law enforcement be surgically removed without paralyzing the institutions themselves? Will those exposed face justice, or powerful interests find ways to evade accountability once again? For now, the answer remains uncertain. But what is clear is that the country stands at a crossroads. The decisions made in the days and weeks to come will determine whether South Africa continues down a path of reform or slips further into a culture of impunity. The Madlanga Commission is more than an investigation. It is a national moment of reckoning, and South Africans are watching closely.